What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down some questions that we have for wide receivers that we feel every single wide receiver should know and be able to answer. So I hope this video helps you guys out. I hope it can teach you a few new things. This video is going to be in our quiz format style. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you a pre-snap look, ask you guys a series of questions, give you a chance to pause the video, think about your answer, and then we'll break it down. So like I said, I hope this helps out, fellas, but also if you are a wide receiver and you want to get faster, you want to get stronger, check out that very first link in the description below for our new 4-month wide receiver gym workout plan. We give you all the gym exercises wide receivers should be doing on a daily basis, broken down with sets and reps. So check out that very first link below. Let's get started. So first example here, we're going to be going over a coverage look. Okay, so now this coverage based on pre-snap, you are going to pretend like you were this wide receiver or maybe this tight end right here. I want you guys to try to distinguish what kind of coverage this is, and then we're going to break it down. So based on this pre-snap look where the DBs are lined up, linebackers, linemen, what kind of coverage do you think this is? You guys can go ahead and pause the video. All right, so now we're going to break this thing down. So if you guys said that it is cover 2, you would be 100% correct. Now, here's why it's cover 2, and here's what kind of the responsibilities of cover 2 are from a receiver perspective. So if I line up on the outside, obviously, like the first thing that I want to be made aware of as a wide receiver is the corners, right? I'm looking at the corners. I'm trying to see how they are playing, and then I'm going to be looking to the safeties. The way we teach our quarterbacks to read a defense is a little bit different than this. We tell them to look at the box, then the safeties, then the corners. But as a wide receiver, your most important defenders on the field are the defenders in the secondary. You know, obviously a slot or a tight end, things can change, but we are looking at this coverage. So mainly the secondary, right? So we come up, we see that this DB's outside shade, right? He's outside shade, so that tells me a couple different things. Number one, that tells me that he has help to the inside. Anytime that a DB's lined up outside shade, he has help to the inside. So, okay, I can tell that based on his leverage. Now, this might be outside shade man coverage where he's locked onto you because he's pressed up, but that doesn't always guarantee that it's man coverage. Now we look to the safeties and we see that there's 2 high safeties and they look like they are both starting to bail. So that probably looks like something we call cover 2 or what everybody calls cover 2. So cover 2 is when the corners are sitting in the flats and the safeties have the deep halves of the field. Now, some of you might think, why is this important? Now we're going to play this full speed. So we're going to watch the corner and pay attention to the safety. We end up hitting like, I believe, a wheel route into this empty zone. So let's play at full speed. So yeah, they end up hitting this wheel route to the tight end. They isolate that safety and try to get him to pick one. So the reason why, as a wide receiver, I think he runs a post and then he runs a wheel. He carries with the post and then we hit the wheel. So the reason why wide receivers need to know this is you need to know where to sit in a specific zone coverage, right? So if it's cover 2, the weaknesses of cover 2, because the 2 safeties are bailing, are where? Middle of the field. And if the corners are sitting in the flats, it would be right here, this area between the corners and the safety. So if you have a route that's going to that specific area, that's what you should be thinking as a wide receiver. If I'm running to that spot, that's where I kind of want to settle my route. That's where I want to sit. I don't want to, like, let's say, for example, you're running a fade from the outside and you have this safety coming over the top. And let's say the corner, like we have a flat route. Corner sits with the flat. I don't want to keep running and just run into this safety. I see that it's cover 2 and I'm going to sit right in this window because that's where the QB is going to put the ball. So make sure, fellas, we can understand and read coverages even if we are a wide receiver. So I'm going to play this thing again, full speed one more time. Great job isolating the corner and the safety. That is a great cover 2 beater play. Okay, so now, like we talked about in the last example, we want to be able to sit in zone coverage, right? So this specific pre-snap look here, this is going to be another coverage-based question because I feel it's something we don't go over a lot on this channel. And based on this coverage, we are going to be pretending that I am the outside wide receiver. There's a wide receiver right here where I'm drawing this circle. You can't really see him. The play concept is going to be deep post, seam, and then dig. So kind of like a dagger. They would call that a dagger because like this mesh point right here, I guess you could say, looks like a knife. That's why they call it dagger. If you were the outside wide receiver, where do you think you guys would be going in zone coverage? So think about the specific pre-snap look. I don't even have to tell you the full coverage. We got 4 down linemen, so that means there's probably like 3 other, it's probably like a 4-3 situation. It's probably a nickel package too as well because this looks like a safety. But we got 2, so we got 4, then this would be the Mike, then this would be a nickel, and then we got the 2 safeties up top with the corners off. So that looks like cover 4. So I want you to think, where would you sit in this zone coverage if you were running that dig route from the outside wide receiver? Where would you sit and where would you try to get open at? So you guys can go ahead and pause the video and think about what you would do here. Okay, so now the main thing that you want to look at here is that obviously this like nickel and like I guess some people would consider this linebacker as well, are a little bit farther off than usual, right? They're definitely, it probably is like a 3rd and long situation, or like maybe like 2nd and forever, 4th and forever, whatever it is. So we obviously, what the quarterback is looking for on this concept is he's obviously got this kind of like bender from the number 3. He's got this seam from the 2, then a dig from the outside. We're trying to read this guy. So if this guy runs with the seam, chances are that's what he will do. We're going to be looking to this dig. But obviously we kind of have a problem because this nickel is sitting right here into this like deep hook to curl zone. So when you're running that dig, do you think we want to expect the ball right off the break? No. So if you said, oh, I'm going to sit right here, that would be incorrect. If you said, I'm going to sit between this nickel and the mic, that would be correct, because that's like almost like a second window throw on this. Now, let's say, for example, you're at a 2x2, and let's say he's running like a bender, and let's say this guy's running like a whip route, and you're running a dig. That's when you would sit in that first window, because we're hoping that this guy crashes with the whip and that ball is going to be right off the break. But if we don't have anything underneath like that, your dig is running right into his zone. So we have to work to the second window. Now, it's also important to know that, because if you work to the second window here, but you keep running, you're running right into that mic. So let's play this full speed. That's what this wide receiver ends up doing. He ends up sitting into that window. That is textbook right there. Find the open grass so that QB can get you a ball, and that's the only open window we have. You see how safety ran with the seam? You got this nickel defender sitting in that hook to curl. We just have to slip behind him, find the open grass, so we are on the same page with my QB. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. I'm going to play this thing again full speed. I know it's a lot of talking, fellas, and I'm not playing the video a whole ton. I know a lot of people like it when I play the videos over and over again. But when it comes to pre-snap stuff, it's all about knowing the coverage, knowing the hole, being able to see it. So when we play the game full speed, it slows down for me. That's what I'm trying to get at. Let's play this full speed. So again, great job by the wide receiver sitting in that zone coverage, finding the open hole, and then being able to burst up. Okay, so you're probably wondering why I'm showing a quarterback clip here on a wide receiver video. I'm doing this on this last example because it's going to be kind of a situational thing. So again, not so much a coverage thing, but more of like a situational football. So this is going to be an RPO. If anybody doesn't know what an RPO is, I'm sure most of you do. That means run pass option, where the QB could either hand it, maybe run it himself sometimes, or throw it to us. So the situation we have, I'm going to show the pre-snap look from a wide receiver perspective, but this is the situation from the quarterback. He's doing this zone read fake. He pulls it, and let's pretend like we are running a slant route. So if we have to run an RPO slant where the quarterback is going through this almost play action, getting read on somebody, and this is my pre-snap look right here. What do you think I want to do in terms of my release? So remember, think about it. We're running a slant. Look at the DB's coverage and think about the situation. It is an RPO situation, okay? So you guys can go ahead and pause the video and think about what you would do in this specific case. So pause the video. All right, let's break this thing down. So obviously, DB's head up looks like he's in man coverage, right? We can kind of tell that based off of the last examples we looked at where we're looking at different coverages. His eyes are on us. He's head up. He's in a square position. Looks like it's man. So if I have to run an RPO slant, what you would want to do is be a little bit more patient with your release and close the distance with this DB. So let's play this full speed. So that's what Amari Cooper does. He kind of just skips at him, gives him a crossover, and runs that slant. It's a slower tempo slant. That's why I threw that RPO thing in there. I could have easily just shown this example and just be like, how would you run a slant? And I'm sure all of you would tell me, close the distance, attack outside shoulder for 3 steps, run a slant, whatever it is. Some of you might say, oh, I just want to go straight diamond release. But on this one, because the tempo of the play is different, that is why you would kind of, not slowly, but more patiently attack him, close space, then give a crossover. Now, some of you might be asking me, well, why wouldn't I want to attack him and then do a diamond release? I feel that wouldn't be necessary in this case because the DB's head up. I feel like if we go at him and we attack him and he doesn't shade to the inside or anything, I could give him a crossover, no problem, because he's head up. I could sell the fade, I could sell the outside with the crossover, and I can go. But just the tempo needs to be faster. Because what a lot of guys will do on an RPO is they'll take 3 hard steps. They'll just go 1, 2, 3 and run the 3-step slant. They cut out, but the QB's still doing the fake, right? He's still going through his play action. He's still trying to read if a linebacker crashes into the box or whoever he's reading. So if you get to the window too fast, you're going to kind of have to settle. And when we have to settle, guess what the corner can do, or a linebacker or a safety? They all can react and drive on it. You're giving them time. But if you time up your release with the timing of the play, that makes the world of difference. That's how the play times up, and we could have that RPO go for 25, not a pass breakup or maybe like a 5-yard gain. It could be a chunk play. Let's play this thing again, full speed. So if you guys said like more of a patient attack release, you know what else would have probably worked here? If you guys would have said like a slide release, where you like kind of slide to the outside, give a crossover and run, that also would have worked. But if you guys would have just said run the slant or maybe diamond release, that would be incorrect in this situation just because of the timing and tempo of the play. Let's play this thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Cooper being patient, using that crossover, and then winning on that slant route. All right, fellas, I really want to thank you for watching. I hope this video helped you guys out. I know it was kind of a change in pace, some stuff that we normally don't talk about, so I hope that this was something new info that you guys can learn. And again, fellas, if you would like a full 16-week wide receiver gym workout plan, everything wide receivers need to do in the gym for speed, strength, ankle stability, knee stability, the works, check out that very first link in the description below. I'll see you guys next time.